Tonight, he's alive.
We believe Raymond Roth is traveling back to New York right now.
It was a hard thing to do, but in the end, it seems that we did the right thing and we got fooled.
Enough is enough.
If there's someone out there that knows what happened, come forward and speak, because I may be mourning today, but tomorrow that person may be mourning for his or her people.
Green Day.
It's the attack of the green monster. What is the city doing to clean up our lakes? Today we're going for a ride.
The news is now.
Hello, I'm Jody Applegate. Now your Pix 11 at 10. It's a morbid mix-up. A grieving couple who buried their stillborn child got more gut-wrenching news after the funeral. Narmeen Chaudhry is live in the newsroom with the details. Narmeen?
Jody, as if losing a child isn't heartbreaking enough, imagine now being told the child you buried isn't even yours. This is no nightmare, but instead reality for this Brooklyn couple.
I'm lost. I'm spaceless. Like, I'm hurt to the point where I can't move forward.
Justina and Rafal Sliwa shared their story through tears and with their attorney by their side. The horrible mix-up, they say, was the fault of the city medical examiner's office and Bellevue Hospital. And they're holding everyone, including the city of New York, responsible in a claim filed today for $5 million.
It's not going to be swept under the rug like all the other cases have. And we're going to ask for some very strong answers. How did this happen and who's responsible and what's being done to change this system? Because this cannot go on anymore. People can't be hurt this way.
The Sliwas learned their second child had no heartbeat when Justina was only 5 months along. Their attorney says they gave specific instructions for the baby they named Angel to be flown to the couple's native Poland for a proper burial. But about 2 weeks later, the couple's world was once again shattered with just one phone call.
And I'm calling from the medical examiner's office in New York, and I would like to speak to you, please, briefly about your baby.
The medical examiner's office calls the Sliwa case a terrible, tragic error, a human error, and one they have to make right. A spokesperson tells Pix 11 the mix-up was discovered by the Bellevue Hospital lab and that another baby, one with a strikingly similar name to the Sliwas, was given completely by mistake. The timing of this not very good for the ME's office. There have been numerous criticisms over the office's handlings and procedures. In fact, recently one Staten Island family was awarded $1 million after they learned 2 months after burying their 17-year-old son, Jesse Shipley, the medical examiner's office had kept his brain. An eerily similar incident was reported just last week by the New York Post. Only then, it was the organ of a Brooklyn baby.
This is a moment in time. It's an important moment that we can look at the procedures. Hopefully, the kinds of things can stop happening. It's happening too often, and obviously there is a complete dysfunction in that office.
The medical examiner's office says that they have launched an internal investigation. It's unclear if anyone will lose their job as a result of this tragic mistake. The Sliwa's attorney, however, pushing for even more to be done and for Mayor Bloomberg to even get involved. I'm Narmeen Chaudhry, Pix 11 News. We now go to Jay Dow in Massapequa.
Is it an innocent misunderstanding or an intentional act? That's the question detectives are facing in this case involving a once missing man who they've since discovered is very much alive. How did Raymond Roth, a beachgoer who reportedly drowned at Jones Beach last week, turn up alive and well this morning on Route 95 in Santee, South Carolina?
We believe Raymond Roth is traveling back to New York right now. This morning, he was stopped for speeding in Santee, South Carolina, by the Santee Police Department and issued a traffic summons. They attempted to verify his license data, and he came back as a missing person from New York.
That from a family member who tipped off police. Roth's bizarre reappearance is now driving a newly focused investigation, which began last Saturday afternoon when the supposedly strong swimmer drowned. Roth's 22-year-old son told police his dad took to the ocean at Jones Beach's Field 6, which is not manned by lifeguards, for his daily swim and never made it back to shore. The son's frantic 911 call set off a frantic, time-consuming, and expensive rescue effort.
It was a hard thing to do, but in the end, it seems that we did the right thing and we got fooled.
Detectives are now trying to confirm the family's story. In fact, they're looking into the possibility that Roth may never have been at the beach in the first place. If it turns out that Roth did fake his own death, he could be punished for it.
It depends on all the circumstances. People can say there's charges falsely reporting an incident, reckless endangerment charges, but right now it's too early to say if there's going to be any criminal charges.
Chief Richard O'Donnell of the New York State Park Police tells me that Roth was allowed to continue driving in South Carolina because he was not wanted and just missing, which is not a crime. Chief O'Donnell goes on to say that Roth told detectives he indeed planned to continue driving north to his home here in Massapequa, which we should note was put up for sale a week before he was reported missing. In Massapequa, Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.
Jay, the father of an honor student whose killers are being looked for right now by the police, is accepting people celebrating as well as mourning here at his home. We'll let him, the face of a summer of mounting gun violence, explain how he can do both.
There is still love in our people, and it's not all doom and gloom.
The father of Kimar Brooks accepts guests as he prepares for a wedding and for a funeral. Somebody shot his 14-year-old son Kimar last Thursday evening. His funeral is set for Saturday. Meanwhile, the boy's older brother has for many months had a wedding planned for tomorrow, and Kimar was supposed to be in the wedding party.
I think he would want us to carry on the wedding.
He's making the best of a tragic situation. Kimar was an honor student and a standout in a half-dozen sports, but his first love was tennis. It played a key role in the final hour of his life, which was lived very close to home. That is Kimar's house, and just across the street, Hafen Park. Paces inside this gate, the tennis court. You see it there, the tennis court area, the last place he was seen alive, and his body found just feet away from the tennis court fence. It had rained heavily after Kimar started to play around 6:30 p.m. last Thursday. He and two friends had sought shelter in this hut. When they heard gunfire, they scattered, but Kimar never made it home. Now a makeshift memorial marks the place he died. Signs at the tennis court call for violence to end.
More police patrol in the park as they did many years ago.
And a community meeting across the street from the park calls for greater police action. The city's raised the reward for information to $22,000, up from $12,000. But the family of this promising young man says whether it's the money or just having a good conscience, somebody needs to do the right thing.
If there's someone out there that knows what happened, I would ask that person to come forward and speak, because I may be mourning today, but tomorrow that person may be mourning for his or her people.
And Pix 11 a leadership role in getting guns off the streets. We're joining with community and church groups in the effort, culminating in a gun buyback on August 18th. Stay with Pix 11 throughout the month of August to find out how you can be part of the solution. Reporting from the Bronx, I'm James Ford, Pix 11 News. Jody.
Thank you, James. Now to the latest from the Pix 11 news desk. A prominent Manhattan urologist is suspected of trying to take his work home with him. Cops say Dr. Adam Levinson is an upskirting pervert. Police say he was riding the subways, secretly videotaping up women's skirts with a tiny camera hidden inside a pen. Levinson is a urologist at Mount Sinai. He's been suspended. Levinson got busted by an eagle-eyed strap hanger who told a transit cop. The doc is charged with unlawful surveillance. A horrifying discovery today at Maria Hernandez Park in Bushwick. Someone found a fetus this afternoon near a children's play area. So far, the medical examiner's office can't say for certain whether it's a human fetus, but witnesses say that's what it looked like.
Shame, like, whoever did this, I know they're going to hell. Like, that's bad. Like, how you gonna do that to a poor kid?
I don't understand how a woman can come and just leave that like that.
The ME should make its determination by next week. Then cops will decide whether they have a case to investigate. Detroit outfielder Delman Young hopes to reach a plea deal in his hate crime harassment case. That's what his lawyer said today. Young is accused of yelling anti-Jewish slurs at a group of tourists and then fighting with them back in April. This all allegedly happened while the Tigers were in town to play the Yankees. He was suspended 7 games without pay by Major League Baseball. And there was a Major League hack attack today. Some cyberpunk cracked into the Yankees Facebook page. Bombers fans got a real shock when they saw this posting. Quote, "We regret to inform our fans that Derek Jeter will miss the rest of the season with sexual reassignment surgery. He promises to come back stronger than ever in 2013 as Mini Mantles." The sports blog Deadspin was the first to notice the hacks. Other MLB teams also got punked. The Nationals said they're moving back to Montreal, and President Obama's hometown team, the White Sox, said they're voting for Romney. Here's what's making news across the country and overseas. His shrink knew he was dangerous and crazy. According to a new report, a psychiatrist who attempted to treat James Holmes warned University of Colorado officials about him a month before the movie theater massacre. The doctor was supposed to report any student she felt was a threat to campus security. Holmes was top of the list, but around the time the doctor expressed concerns, Holmes dropped out of school. He's charged with killing 12 and wounding 58 others in the July 20th shooting. One person is dead and 25 others injured, some critically, after a double-decker bus crash in Illinois. The megabus was traveling from Chicago to St. Louis when it hit a bridge. The woman who died was seated on the second level, directly above the driver. Police believe a tire blowout caused the bus to veer into the concrete pillar. Move over Rosebud. Citizen Kane is no longer the best movie ever. For the first time in 50 years, the Orson Welles classic is not at the top of the British Film Institute's Sight and Sound Critics poll. Any guesses what the new #1 is? I hear you now. According to a survey of 846 cinema experts, Alfred Hitchcock's psychological thriller Vertigo is the best movie of all time. It's famous for Hitchcock's groundbreaking work in trick photography. The BFI poll is taken every decade, and it's considered the most respected among film aficionados. But what about you, the Pix 11 viewer? What do you think is the best movie of all time, and why? Tweet me at Jody Applegate. And that brings us to number 11, and 11 is weather. Let's get over to Mr. G in the Weather Center. I was getting vertigo just from looking at that stuff, G.
How about Gone with the Wind? Wasn't that supposed to be the all-time?
Not on the list of the intellectuals.
Well, that's me. Right. All right, everybody, let's get to it and show everybody what is going down. The heat is on again. The heat index for Burlington, Mercer County is going to be popping right around triple digits, noon to 8 p.m. The city is in at 80, so it's a mild night, and the liftoff from platform will be very high for tomorrow. This is the transporter southwesterly winds. These are the temperatures right now below tomorrow from Chicago, St. Louis down to Memphis. Computer from Raleigh to D.C. giving it a 96, so you can see where it's going here. On the day planner, Jody, 75 degrees for the morning commute.
All right.
For tomorrow afternoon, 91 degrees. As she wonders, is it a good or bad hair day? Is that what you're wondering?
I am always looking for the dew point for that, the humidity.
Is that right?
Because it's hair dew point. That's the full name of that.
Knows the body language.
Thank you, G. Weather wraps up your Pix 11 at 10, and we'll be right back.
Next, Slime Patrol.
So it works, it's a giant skimmer.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, it picks it all up here, puts it down here, and we offload it after a while at the back.
Clean up your act.
When the winds start coming up and the trash keep accumulating here, because unfortunately in New York a bunch of slub.
Another rape arrest?
We have to see, because those are very serious allegations, and you're innocent until you're proven guilty.